Hi, everyone. I am Rochelle Ludovisi, and I'm really excited to share a little bit about starting this new school year and this new kind of season off in the best possible way. So I know a lot of people have talked about back to school stuff, and this definitely is focused a lot on the kids and the teens, but pretty much everything can be applied to us adults too. I don't know about for you, but for me, summer was great. A little on the hectic side, trying to keep everyone entertained and just running around a lot. So I wasn't quite ready to send the kids back to school, but in this final week, I'm actually pretty much ready now. I feel like it's time, and they'll do well with getting back into some type of routine and schedule. All right, so we're going to talk about how to support your immune system with essential oils and diet. In case anyone hasn't joined on anything that I've done before, I am a holistic health coach and an essential oil educator, and I'm a real advocate basically for wellness. And I've been a Pilates instructor for 17 years and focused a lot on rehab and working with people who are kind of healing from certain injuries. So I work a lot with the essential oils in all these different modalities that I work with. All right, so let's dive into this. So when we're talking about, everyone talks about the immune system and wanting to, see if I'm in full screen here. Yeah. Wanting to boost your immune system. And sometimes it's like, what exactly does that mean? What are we focusing on? So the immune system, as you can see in this area, is compromised of a couple or quite a few different areas. Everything from the lymph nodes to starting up top where the tonsils and the adenoids are, to the thymus, which is right kind of where that collarbone tends to lie here. And then the spleen and the bone marrow, appendix, that whole gut, like that whole small intestine, large intestine, part of that immune system. And let's see. Okay, so what helps support the immune system here? So the immune system compromises of like 75% of keeping you healthy is what is in the gut. The gut is really significant in keeping that immune system healthy. So what are some things that we can do in general? A lot of these you may have heard of and have worked on, but just keep them in mind. So we talk a lot about vitamin D as that sunshine vitamin. So 80 to 90, I have a little bit of a spelling error here, but is the good or the optimum range that you're looking for. And that is through a blood test that you can see that. So myself, like when I look at my blood tests, I think I range around 50 or so. So I'm a little bit low, even being in California. So a lot of times what we can do is overprotect ourselves and end up kind of being lacking that sunshine and that ability to kind of get that. There's so much of that correlation between the vitamin D levels and the links to cancer and heart disease, bone disease, all of that information. It's not new information, okay? So there is no reason we shouldn't be supplementing if we're not getting enough of that sunshine. So it's been associated with low levels of fatigue and brain fog and low energy too. So I'd say watch how quickly you're putting sunscreen on your kids. Everyone knows their child best. But if you're only going to be out for like 20, 30 minutes and your child doesn't burn easily, maybe that's a good time to just not let the sunscreen be on and let them absorb some of that vitamin D. So zinc is another thing that's really good for your immune system, and it has seeds and nuts and eggs are really good beans for that too. So it helps kind of repair and to rebuild that intestinal lining. So if you have any digestive or rashes or anything like that, your need for zinc is even more important, because a lot of times your rate of absorption is not as high. Vitamin A, with like, think of kind of those orange vegetables like carrots and sweet potatoes. And vitamin C, especially when you are feeling run down, your body has a stronger need for vitamin C. But you can get that in kiwi and citrus fruits too, like oranges, everybody knows that. Okay. So when we're talking about essential oils that can help support the immune system, I wonder when you're seeing it if my little picture is getting in the way of you guys. I'm going to try to move it here. Down. Okay. So I'm going to turn to these On Guard products as the #1 oils and products to have in your household. Okay, these have been studied and shown in hospitals that this can kill more bacteria than a lot of those products like a Lysol. Okay, so you want to have these in. They are not harmful to you also. They are strong, right? This oil here is a very strong scent, but you can dilute it. So there's a couple options. There's a straight oil, which I suggest everybody have in so that they can put it, like let's say you're coming down with something, you're feeling run down, or you're giving gifts for teachers. This is a fantastic gift along with a diffuser. And on my website, RochelleLunaBC.com, at the end you'll see that. I have some links to some inexpensive diffusers that are around $20. So that is a really nice thing to do for gifts for friends too. But because this can, if you're diffusing it, it goes into your respiratory system here. And a lot of times when you get those threats, they first come up or show like in the throat and everything in that whole respiratory area. So it's really nice to be able to help support that from the beginning. And then On Guard, so over here on the left is the hand sanitizer. I love this. It's a foaming hand soap, and it's a scent that is not super strong, and it's really nice to use. Where is it? I'm in the middle. I just paused it. What's that? Okay, I ate it. And then this On Guard concentrate is just a great one to use for making different kind of products for like your kitchen sink, or I use it a lot in a spray bottle. And I will put, this will fill like 8 different spray bottles because it's such a concentrated amount that you only need a little bit. And then you can add water or any other essential oils and make cleaning products for around the house too. This is the roller bottle. So the roller bottle, I suggest in the morning and at night, if you can't do it 2 times, do once a day, you roll On Guard on the bottoms of your kids' feet, okay? This one is diluted with fractionated coconut oil. So it's got the clove, the cinnamon. It's really a lovely, it kind of reminds me of like a Christmassy scent, but it's got rosemary in it too, and eucalyptus is another one. So this is a great one to put on the kids' feet to help boost the immune system because it can affect the cells. And when you put it on the bottoms of the feet, it'll enter the bloodstream within 28 seconds. Okay, so less than a minute, you've got it in your body. These On Guard Plus, these protective blend soft gels are fantastic. So my kids are 9 and 11. For the last couple of years, these are really nice because they're a small little gel cap. So they're really easy to take. These are great to travel with. So as an adult, I will take 1 drop and drop it under my tongue. It is spicy, but I don't mind. I'm telling you, I've noticed such a difference when I put this in right away when I'm feeling a little run down, and how it kind of supports my immune system. Now for the little ones, if they're so little that they're not going to swallow this protective gel, this capsule, then I should say it's a soft gel. It's not even, when you think of a capsule, it makes me think that they're bigger. This is not big. It's really small and just slides down really easy. There are these On Guard, you can see in this picture, they're these tiny little, like the size of the top of a pen. They're these little beadlets, and you can swallow them, you can chew them. You can actually burst it with your fingers and apply it on the bottoms of your feet if this is all you had for the kids. But I think this roller bottle is probably the way I'd go for younger kids. All right, and then this is a picture of the pure oil. Best oils to support kids and families. So if you have a sore throat, Melaleuca and On Guard are my favorites. I always go to Melaleuca. You can put a drop in water and gargle with it, adults or kids, or you can just apply it. All of these, not all of these, but a lot of the oils come in that roller bottle. So you can take it, if you can see that picture of me, hopefully this is showing up on the recording, and you can just rub it on you. It comes in these pre-diluted bottles, the Melaleuca, which is tea tree oil, and then you can kind of just rub it into the throat area if they don't want to put it in their mouths. On Guard is fantastic for that too. Calming and anxiety, you can always just pause this and take a screenshot of this, and so you have some ideas of some oils that you could use. Earaches, I am impressed. This is one of the reasons I started using oils, was this worked so incredibly well for me the first time one of my kids had problems with their ears. They had extreme pain. I put a drop of Melaleuca and oregano on a cotton ball. I folded the cotton ball and I stuck it in my child's ear. A lot of people will just rub the oil on the outside, like the ear bone or around it. It works so well for us. We avoided a lot of emergency and last minute visits by having these oils. I'm telling you, they are sensational to have for small things like this. Colds, lemon, On Guard, Melaleuca. You can see On Guard's congestion. If they're getting stuffed up, you definitely want to diffuse some oils. You could do peppermint or breathe, which has eucalyptus and a bunch of oils that are very good for the respiratory system. And then finally at the bottom here, I just put a couple of blends that are nice to do, that are calming. I'm hoping that, let's scoot this over just in case it is in the way. Okay, some energizing blends, some calming blends for concentration. So these are really nice ones that you can diffuse in the morning to get everyone going, or if they need to do some work and they need to focus a bit. Things to avoid things to add in and avoid in your diet. So everybody knows this is probably one of the hardest things for me personally, is sugar. To avoid sugar. It is so inflammatory. It's the most inflammatory substance on the planet. So you really want to avoid it as much as possible. If you can have some maple sugar, I should say maple syrup, not sugar, maple syrup or raw honey, that is okay. Obviously fruits are okay. It does have sugars, but it's got the digestible, it's got the fiber and everything kind of worked in together that you can slow down the absorption of the sugar instead of just like a pure refined sugar. So, and the brain likes that steady flow of blood glucose levels for fuel. So frequent eating, you know, when the kids have like a little snack time at school, give them a little something to kind of pick them up and keep them going till lunchtime. So it could be fruits and vegetables, seaweed, you know, whatever it is that you can kind of get your kids to snack on. I have seen like at Trader Joe's, there's a lot of the bars, like the grass-fed meat sticks, I'll call them, that one of my kids really likes a lot. Okay, DHA in the diet is really important for brain function. So when we're talking about kids trying to perform at their most optimal level, so DHA is something that you would get like in salmon, and this is really great. They have an IQ Omega or Mega that doTERRA has, and it's this one here, and it's got an orange flavoring. My son will just take it and plain. My daughter's a little more particular, but if you put it like in a shake, they cannot taste it. It doesn't have any of that fishiness that comes up after, right when you swallow it. So that is a really nice one. And the other one is the A to Z, which is a chewable tablet. You could do that if they can't swallow any of the supplements yet. And exercise, I think we all know this, that kids need to be involved, but not overly involved. Like I feel like it's kind of becoming this thing where kids are so rushed around all day that they have no downtime. And I struggle with this a bit too, but really trying to pick one or two things that are really key for them to do, and then have a day or two where the schedule's a little bit slower, or like we changed where we're swimming so it's closer by, and trying to simplify a little bit. Because I think we all know that there are kids that are getting such stress and anxiety at such young ages. We've got to make some changes. So anything that you can do to help them with that. And there are studies that show that aromatherapy and kind of infusing those kind of healthier things into their life can really make a difference. Just those small things sometimes that can make an overall kind of change if you do a couple of these things. Okay, so if you guys have heard of these excitotoxins, so I just like to kind of make mention of this. You can pause it and take a look at this whole screen. I'm not going to read through all of this, but things like red food dye and MSG, and there's a bunch of others. I think those are the two of the highest ones, though, the MSG, which is pretty much in like all the fast foods. You kind of have to be careful, right? We really need to start making some of our food so that we aren't getting all of this in our diet. And so they can be linked to brain cell death, infertility problems, sexual development, problems with sexual development, violent behaviors, hormonal disorders. So it's also in NutraSweet. There's the aspartate. So kind of just start looking at what you're buying. Other ways to support, so when we're talking about, the reason I mentioned just a little bit about detox is you're supporting your immune system, and some of that support for the immune system means things need to be flushed out. The word detox I know is so overly used, but you just want things to constantly be flushing out. And that's why I recommend to a lot of people, and if your kids like it, in their water bottles, getting a lemon oil or a wild orange or grapefruit, lime, whatever they like. Got a lot of antioxidants. You just need one drop in their big water bottle you're sending them to school that is not plastic. And that is a nice way to support it. Because if you have heavy metals and stuff in the body that are not getting out, it can disrupt the immune system and the brain health. So, and that whole idea of emotional toxins, right? Making sure you're talking to your kids too. And sleep, right? Making sure you're getting good sleep for these kids. They're getting the right amount of sleep, what they need. So if you need lavender or vetiver or any of these oils in there to help support the brain health, but also sleep, that is key. So the bottom left, when I talked about brain health, I mentioned balance, which is such a great grounding blend. And it's got blue tansy and chamomile, and it's got frankincense in there. It's got a lot of beautiful oils in there. And then vetiver. If you have any child that deals with any attention issues, vetiver is so calming. It is a beautiful oil to put on the bottoms of their feet before school. So if you decide to get that, definitely reach out to me so I can tell you the proper way to use that. I did mention up here Zendocrine oil. That is a great way to support detox. Obviously staying hydrated and making sure you're having enough fiber too. I definitely wanted to mention this because there's a lot of kids that are starting to get towards those teen years, and they're having problems with acne and blemishes. And I'm seeing a lot of kids start to go on medication. Before you do anything extreme, please try some other alternatives, all right? I've used the oil, and my daughter is 11, so we haven't had to deal with a ton of this yet, but I just got the oil. I've had the oil for years, but I've had to use it a couple of times with her. Within 2 days, anything that she's gotten has started to disappear really quickly. So I'm gonna get all of these products, like the other two too, because I've had a couple of friends that have used them on their teenagers and been really happy with their success. When they use them consistently, they're seeing a big difference in the skin staying clear. Now it is hormonal too, but if you can get the right products on their face that aren't stripping the good kind of moisture and keeping it hydrated still, it is really important. So it has these great oils. It's got black cumin oil and hoe wood and melaleuca, litsea, eucalyptus, and geranium. So those oils kind of are in a lot of the 3 products with different variations of it. So the HT Clear is the pure oil. That's in the center here. The foaming wash is here. And that's also got Melaleuca. If you've got just plain tea tree oil, which is Melaleuca at home, a lot of times I tell people to put that directly on the blemishes, and that even can help. Okay, so they have an active licorice root extract in it, and it's got this phytolipid panel with black cumin and manuka and everything in the foaming wash, which is really great for the skin. And it's got a lot of amino acids and an algae extract that soothes. So you want something that kind of soothes and calms the skin down too. And then there's the lotion on the left here, and that's got one of the things in it is the white willow bark, and that soothes and calms the skin. I highly recommend you try this if you have any need in your family. Okay, here's just a couple diffuser blends if you're looking for something to start with, a study time blend. So you can see with that study time blend, it's all citrus oils, because the citrus oils are very invigorating and energizing. So you can diffuse these, you can put it on their wrist, they can put a little bit under their nose, maybe dilute it a little bit, rise and shine. So you can take a picture of this, so maybe you have some ideas of how to get started. And then that's it. If you're ready to get started, have you used these oils before? If you have, and this is just kind of a review, fantastic. If you're working with someone else, or someone else has been starting to educate you on the oils, definitely kind of go back to them and have them get you started. If it's me who's kind of been starting to educate you and get you interested in this, then here's some great ways to get started. So the Home Essentials and the Family Essentials are the same kit. The Home Essentials are just the larger bottles. So the larger bottles will get you 250 drops versus the smaller ones. If you can see the difference, they're about 80 drops. So, and it comes with a diffuser. This is probably one of my favorite kits to start with. You get much more value for what you're getting than on the Family Essentials. But if you're just trying to get used to it and want to see, hey, am I actually going to use these? Then start with the Family Essentials kit and see how it works for you. And it does come with the beadlets too that I talked about, those small little ones that you can use in your mouth for clearing the breath, for helping when you feel run down. And then I put the Aroma Touch Diffuse Kit, which I really like a lot too. That one is also, these are not, I believe they both are $150. They're wholesale $150, these two, which is what you would get signing up for the first time with it. It's not this retail. And the Aroma Touch comes with 8 oils, a fractionated coconut oil, excuse me, and a diffuser. So it's got balance and a couple of different oils in it. If you click on here, if you're ready to start your oil journey in this green box, that will link you to my website, and you can see the exact oils that come in there. It's like lemon and frankincense and brie, the respiratory one, a lot of the ones that we were talking about. Right? If you're not ready to start with a kit and you just want to try an oil or two, you can absolutely do that. These kits, you get waived the wholesale account fee for $35. But if you prefer to just pay the $35 and then just get an oil or two, you can absolutely do that. Or if you want to pay retail and just try an oil, do that. So what it comes with, and this is kind of the beauty of starting with someone like me versus just going through the website, and definitely I really dissuade people from trying something like Amazon for it. Amazon is great for a lot of things, but for supplementation or something like doTERRA, if you're just buying it from someone who's got it housed in their home, you have no idea how they're taking care of that product. You don't know if they're keeping it in the sun and then it's 3 years old and they decide to send it to you. There is no way to tell, and there's some lawsuits going on that some of these oils have been dumped and less expensive oils have been put in and sent out to people because you can recap them. So this is the best way to do it. So along with getting the best quality oils, these will come directly from the factory. This is not coming from me. But you will, once you start, become part of the community of our community called Educate and Empower. There's over 7,000 members. You can ask questions there. You can search to see what people are talking about there. And you'll get 25% off for a year of whatever you want for products and gifts and however you want to use it. And they do have a way that you can earn free products every month, and I can tell you about that. I always do a free 30-minute consultation to get you started, and we have weekly Wellness Wednesdays that educate you on different oils and products so that you know how to use it. We have an email series, ton of stuff, you guys. You will be in good hands. All right, if you have any questions, let me last screen give you this, how you can keep in touch. I'm most active, I'd say, on Instagram. I do put some stuff up on Facebook too, so follow me on whichever one you have. Here's my email address if you need to reach me, and my website. All right, hope this was helpful. Have a great start to your year. I'm excited to see how it goes for all of you, and please reach out if you have any questions. And I will speak with you all soon. Have a great day.